Ladies and gentlemen, here we are back again with another video on this beautiful 2019 KTM SMCR. If you saw the first ride, I had an absolute blast, and the owner was very generous to say, hey, take it home. So let's go, because it's been a long day and it's warm out here. So if you remember, I did mention that this bike is really tall. I am 5'9". I weigh 230 pounds, and I am like on the tip of my tiptoes right now. Ooh. I do love this single. But I figured, well, let's see what it's like on the longer ride. So let's take it home and try to get a little bit of a spirited reaction to this motorcycle. One thing I did forget to mention on the first ride video was that this bike does have a quick shifter, and I did not even realize it. But the owner did mention it after he watched the video. He said, hey, bike's got a quick shifter, you might want to try it. I said, I will. So on we go on the long ride home. It gives us a little bit of time to talk about the bike and talk about other things too, but I will say this, I do really like this motorcycle a lot. As I get going down the road, I'm sure that, you know, you start going home, you spend about an hour on the commute or the ride home, and tomorrow will be the commute. The seat may not hold up. This is a stock seat. The owner said, you know, I have a custom seat for it, maybe you want to try that. I said, no, I prefer as stock as possible. But as I indicated in the first ride video, this bike is so light. It's like 300 and something pounds, 360 pounds. And I know it is exactly fully fueled because I fueled it up just before I left the office. Only the best for this girl. You want to get over, or you want to stay in the lane? Yes. You leave work, you always get the people coming out, and a lot of people come to this intersection, they have no idea where they're going. Of note, this bike has absolutely no storage. None. And I did not take a backpack with me today because I rode my 2021 Challenger that I just bought. I had a video on that earlier, and I just left it at the office and said, I'm bringing this home. So I left a lot of my stuff, but I don't care, because as the owner of this bike mentioned to me, and as I've mentioned in the past, I mean, this channel is not about making a lot of money for just us. We want to, you know, introduce more people to riding. This bike does not, it really does. I mean, if you're not in the right RPM range, this has no power at certain points. But anyway, back to what I was talking about there. We're not about making a lot of money. Obviously, we're not even monetizable yet, you know, so we're not making anything. We just started a Patreon. You can find the link in the description of the video. It would help us out a lot if we can get a few supporters to help us out. And ultimately, what we want to do is kind of give that money back over time, you know. So $5 a month will get a certain amount of ad revenue from us. And like, for example, the owner of this bike, because this is his bike, any ad revenue ever that's ever made from this motorcycle, he's going to get a percentage of that. So I think it gives people a feeling that they're a part of it, you know, a part of the channel, a part of the community that we're trying to build, of just motorcycle riders, not specific to any brand, just motorcycle riders in general. And we want to showcase all bikes. So if you have people that are financially contributing, and they will get money back over time once the channel gets bigger, I mean, it just gives us a little bit of money that we can put towards getting more bikes in the future for longer rides. You know, if we have to rent bikes, we have to rent bikes. It's just that simple. And, you know, we'll kind of create polls and things like that, saying, hey, which bikes do you want to see? This is what we got available. Excuse me. Once we get to that point. And I'm super excited about the direction of the channel and how we've been going so far. I mean, a little over 400 subs in less than a month. And then we're coming up on a month now, as of filming this video. And, you know, it's been a blast to create content and ride bikes. I mean, full disclosure, I've ridden 25 different motorcycles so far this year and filmed. And I know some of the first films weren't the greatest, but it's just, you know, just want to be able to get more bikes out to people and see what they like, see what they're about, and try to give everybody a good view of any different bike there is. And this KTM, so far, I know in a short ride, this KTM is phenomenal. It's very fun. The seat is a little hard, I can say that. I've been working all day, and yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it. But, you know, we just want to be able to get more subscribers, and if people are actively contributing to assisting with that and getting word of mouth out there, you know, it's like, hey, the more subscribers you get, the more viewers you get, the more ad revenue will add up over time, and the more money our Patreon supporters would make. And I really want to make sure that we do that, and we also would like to use that as another launching pad in the future. I mean, I would really like to start giving away motorcycles at some point, and, you know, get big enough to be able to do that without having to charge people even more money. But, you know, you got to be able to cover the expenses too. I mean, that's just the nature of business. But ultimately, the whole plan is to just film everything and give people a good idea about what a bike is and how it feels. Because, I mean, I've mentioned in this video, the new version of this particular bike is like 12 grand. And look, I mean, $12,000 is a lot of money for some people to be able to drop on a bike. That's a lot of money for me to drop on a bike. And I want to know that I'm getting something that's worth it, honestly. Excuse me. God, I have this cough. I had a lot of allergies. Excuse me. But, you know, I want people to know that they're going to get something for their money and their time. And I know it might not seem like a lot, but as the channel increases in popularity and more people start watching, and we need help getting that. We need more people to like, we need more people to subscribe. I want to be able to give back to people in more ways than just giving them a bike or saying, hey, I'll give you a shirt. I want more people to be involved in the channel. I've had some really nice comments so far this year. Well, so far in the last month. So I was very happy to see that. Obviously a little bit more in my current demographic. But, oh God, I forgot to mention. Full disclosure, we got the young guy in his 20s, and he just took out the Ninja 400, and he doesn't have all the years of riding experience, but he's a pretty good rider, and it's going to be nice to see some of the content coming from him going forward too, because he's going to have a different impression of motorcycling than I do. So I think that'll help, you know, try to get another demographic, another group of people wanting to watch the channel and see what he has to say. I was talking to a 18-year-old yesterday. I was thinking to myself, you know, I'd like to see him ride some bikes too, and you know, just kind of get a different level of a different opinion about a bike, because we all look at a bike and we say, oh, it's great, or no, I don't like that, or you know, this bike doesn't ride the way I want, you know, but this bike rides great for somebody else loves it. You know, you have different opinions about bikes, and it's good to have that, and to be able to have people, you know, collaborate and say, oh, I liked this about the bike, I didn't like that about the bike, you know, I wish this bike had this, you know, and that kind of thing. I think that's very beneficial for, you know, for people especially when they're going to make a decision on dropping them a good amount of money. You know, it's like, well, this bike is good here, but I didn't particularly like it, or I think it could be better in this area. Porsche. I don't know. Maybe you guys tell me if I'm wrong. You know, you get to this part of the video, you tell me I'm wrong. Or you give me your own ideas. Tell me things that you guys would want to see on the channel. You know, tell me bikes that you would like to see. You know, tag the manufacturers. You know, say, hey, we want to see this bike being ridden by this, you know, by this group, and we want their opinions on the bike, and help us get bigger. You know, we'd really appreciate it, and we really want to build a solid community, a good community of people that just loves motorcycles, period. All motorcycles, even scooters. Even scooters. I'll tell you what, cruising down the road, 61, it's fuzzy in the hands. You know, if you're just kind of sitting here, I can feel the vibration in the hands, but that's, you know, what to be expected on a single. There's really not much you can do about it. The one nice thing about a bike like this, though, is I have infinite movement. Infinite movement. Like, I can just sit back right now, I kind of screw back in the seat a little bit, and you know, I just get a different rider position at this point. I mean, honestly, I think that yeah. Oh yeah, I can go rear foot peg, lean forward. That's nice. That's nice. The faster you go on a bike like this, the more the wind is going to affect it. It's so light. I mean, that was 70 something, I think. I wasn't really looking because I have to look down and I'm kind of trying to look forward. But the faster you go, yeah, the more the wind moves the bike. And, you know, full disclosure, this bike is not built for or made for, you know, ultra fast. I mean, it's a single cylinder engine, so it's only going to rev so high and it's only going to be able to go so fast. That being said, I'm pretty sure it's going to be relatively quick. You want to go? Sorry. She waved. She waved. It does have a quick shifter. There we go. It's not slow though. This bike is not slow, but I feel that, oh my god, just the subtle movement right there, just easy. It's so light that it just falls right over. This is, God, you know what? This is, you know, is it gonna hold up over the hour-long ride home? Probably not. I can kind of say that now. Am I gonna be comfortable the whole time? Probably not. As it's not built for this. You know, this bike is not built for, you know, a super long ride. It can do it, it's fine, but it's not built for that job. This is a bike that you're gonna mess around with. You're gonna, you know, have a good, you know, little jaunt around and just kind of get on a little bit. I gotta get the owner, his friend. I gotta get him to I gotta get him to do some wheelies, because I'm not a wheelie guy anymore. You know, it's not my thing. It is a beautiful day out here though. Oh. This bike is so light. The interesting thing is, if this bike was a little bit shorter, this wouldn't be too bad for this job. It's just, it's very tall, and it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world to do city traffic on. Quick shifter is not really, it jerks a little bit, not exactly perfect. I think I can get, I mean, I know I can get cleaner shifts. We're going to come up to a stoplight. We're not going to have a choice. another bike that I wish I could lane split. And right now, I just wish I could lane split. I'd get up to the front right now. Yeah, see right here, I'm gonna be stuck at this light, so neutral, you know, ball or tiptoes, and just kind of sitting here. But yeah, that's the nature of this bike. But we're gonna get out into the country here in a minute. Well, a minute. A minute is relative, I suppose. But we're gonna get out into the country and, you know, kind of open this up a little bit. You know, kind of see how it feels. That I'm kind of looking forward to. If you want, you can jump ahead. It's gonna be more towards the last 3/4 or the last quarter section of the video. But ultimately, I think that this bike is a really good bike. It's quick. It is quick. I'll give it that. It's very quick. I picked the wrong lane though. Ugh. I did mention in the first ride video that exhaust is hot. I do not like the positioning on the exhaust on this bike because my leg and my foot are right there, and I kind of wish that that was not the case. The sun just popped out behind that cloud, really bright. Can-Am. I got a friend that has one of those Can-Ams. I think I'd like to get that for the channel too. And I've actually never ridden it. So let me know in the comments if you want to see the Can-Am. Traffic. I'm gonna get over. Something tells me I might have left my blinker on that whole time. I think I got used to riding the Indian, which has canceling turn signals. The brakes on this are really good. And for the first half hour of the ride, give or take, it's still very comfortable. I'll let you guys know when I feel it when I get off. Alright, come on. Come on. Okay, here we go. Harley. He gets up to speed pretty quick. I'll give it that. I don't know if it was at the 890 they called the Scalpel, the KTM. I gotta look that up. But it does feel, you know, so light when you're riding it, and you go to push in and it just goes and turns in. I mean, you're not fighting anything on this bike. This bike is so light. Everything is just easy. If it wasn't for the height, this bike is almost perfect, in my opinion, for what it is. And I would love to ride it more if it was just a little shorter, but for me, the comfort factor on a longer ride matters, especially at this stage. I mean, I mentioned in the first ride video, he really does need to get this thing tuned, because on-off throttle is very jerky. It's a beautiful day to ride, though. God almighty. It's like 78 degrees right now. It's really nice. All the wind is hitting me right in the chest, because there's nothing here, and that's okay, because I like that. I really do. I'm a big fan of naked bikes. I mean, this is ultimately, this is actually pretty comfortable when I really kind of think about it. You know, for what it is, I get a lot of leg room, I get a lot of body movement room, so there's a lot of positioning that I can do on a ride to make the ride more comfortable. So, yeah, ultimately it's not bad for this. It really isn't. Some storage on it would probably be even better. Maybe just a tail bag. You know, put a tail bag on it. That wouldn't be bad. You know, get a little tail bag, that way you have some ability to carry a couple things. Yeah. Wouldn't be too bad. But for 12 grand, I don't know. I don't know. Won't know that until I do the commute, because that's a different animal. You wake up in the morning and you do the commute. Your body's not exactly awake yet. But on the ride home, I'm just amped up to get home. It's been a long day. I just want to go home. And of course, right now, what I want to do is go home. I want to be able to check the editing progress on certain things and see where we are. Been trying to get the to make sure we have enough content going forward, and we also want to make sure we got the right content. We got the content that everybody's looking for. So again, please comment and tell us what you want to see. What bikes do you want to see? And tag those manufacturers. Subscribe to the channel. You know, the more subscriptions we have, the more ability we're going to have to be able to talk to the manufacturers and say, hey, look, we got a good audience. They want to see this. You know, this is not a channel for me or anybody else that's doing anything on the channel, really. This is a channel for everybody. What do you want to see? What bikes do you want to see? Older bikes do you want to see? If you have a bike and we haven't ridden it, reach out to us. Let us know where you're at. Maybe we can, you know, meet up and we can do a 20-minute ride video, and then once, you know, that once we start making ad revenue, percentage of that money is yours. Or if you don't want the money, you just want to see more bikes on the channel, tell us. Hey, don't worry about that. We want more bikes. I want to see everything. I want to see all these great bikes out there. I want to see them on the road. Ooh, what is this? Oh. Making their turn. Okay. You get these blind curves, you can't see it until you're already on it, so you gotta be visually aware. God, this bike is so light. Oh man, I love this bike for this. Like a spirited ride in the country around some curves, or getting some really tight twisting. Oh my God, that's what this bike is built for. It's not built for high-speed pulls. It's not its purpose. I am always very concerned when I get into any kind of traffic, as we all should be. Oh, big thanks to the friend. Big thanks. Any bike that I get to ride is an enjoyment. Any bike. I may not like it for a commute. I may not like it for a long ride home. You know, it may not suit me for that. But God almighty, any bike. I think I've only ridden one bike so far this year that it's like, and it, based on the comments, it doesn't seem like it was the bike's fault, or it doesn't seem like it was the platform itself. It seemed like there was something specific to that particular bike. And that was the Ninja 650. It vibrated like crazy. I mean, I even mentioned in the review video, it's like, God almighty, I hate this bike. I'm sitting on it, if I'm being shaken to death. Now this was a single, and I'm not being shaken as bad as I was on that bike. So everybody leave a comment for Kawasaki and tell them to give me another 650 that actually worked. And then I'll give them a better review, maybe. Yeah, slight breeze coming through today. And I've mentioned it on the previous ones, I hate this intersection. Okay, back again. Finally get to go. Oh, yeah. 68 miles an hour, and luckily not a lot of wind. But we're still getting pushed a little bit because of the weight of the bike. It's not unbearable. It really isn't. It's not unbearable, but you feel it. So if you're gonna want to do something like this, or you're traveling to get to some place where you can kind of get on it, get the twisties, whatever, yeah, you're gonna have to learn to deal with the wind, because it is very, very light and it just wants to fall over. Now I'm kind of leaning forward because I kind of like this riding position, but I can still sit straight up like this. But doing this, I feel like I'm putting a little bit more weight on my tailbone. Like I'm gonna screw it up a little bit, get up into a riding position that puts me up on the tank. This fairing. But very slender. Obviously, there's a lot of riding positions that work for this bike. And I did mention it before in the first ride. Being able to put my foot on both the rider and passenger foot peg at the same time really does help out a lot for me, because I get to kind of relax my leg or my feet quite a bit. Okay, another light. We are having a great time today. Lights and lights and lights. There is nothing as far as electronics to really talk about with this bike. I did kind of adjust the suspension a little bit before I took off today, and I wanted to kind of give it the best that I could as far as suspension, so kind of tuned it out a little bit more to my weight and height. More so weight, but the owner of this bike is my height, but a little bit shorter, but not by much. But weight-wise, 60 pounds less, so I had to make sure that I remembered what settings were before I adjusted it, so I can put it back. Going 60 mile an hour, this bike's great. A quick shifter going up there. It holds its speed just fine. I have no complaints right now. Well, that's a lie. The seat is really hard. It's not comfortable for a long ride. So, as I mentioned, that's not what this bike is built for. Long riding, it's not what this bike is made for. I gotta get past these guys. Speed pretty quick though. I'll give it that. You could see the bike shaking a little bit, I don't know. But it's very light. I feel the wind just kind of shaking me around. I could probably go faster right now, but honestly, the lightness of this bike is when you get up to those speeds, the wind is amplified, so the bike just starts moving from side to side, and I'm not gonna wreck somebody else's motorcycle, so not because of me. So I personally am not quite as comfortable with this bike yet to be able to get on it even harder. But it can do it. It can do it. Without a doubt. It can do it. This bike is so light. God. I know I keep harking on it, but it is so light. It just effortless to move. You know, you ride some bikes that are just, they're so, you know, they're heavy and not this thing. Man. See that kick shifter? Or quick shifter there, just jerks right there. So it's not exactly smooth. I think I'd rather shift, personally. And I did mention in the first ride, there's no tach. So on a bike like this, you really do have to listen to the engine so you know when to shift. Or you can feel it in the power band. Which the power band on this is, you know, 4,000, I think, give or take. You know, going off of feel. But there's a moment when it kind of throws you back. Right there. Not a bad motorcycle at all. This is a really good bike. It really is. We're coming up on our moment to be able to do a power check pretty soon. I love the country. Peace. Just peace. Get out here and you get some of these moments where there's very few cars, and it's just freedom. Little twist. 71. Yeah. Other than the seat being really stiff, it's very stiff. So there's not a lot of, and obviously it's not very wide, so you can really feel it as you're riding. The longer you ride, you feel it. So the ultimate question right now, I mean, would I personally want to have this bike? For this purpose? No. No. You know, to go home with every day or to commute every day? No, probably not. I mean, no, I wouldn't. It's not built for that. It really isn't. I mean, it can be done. You can commute on anything. You can commute on a Super Sport. But comfort-wise, for a long distance, no, not for me. I would be miserable after a little more than an hour. Like right now, I'm moving around a little bit on the seat to kind of maintain my comfort, but that's only going to last for so long. And after a half hour, I'm already moving around, meaning by an hour 15 minutes, I'm going to be miserable on this bike. And that's not the bike's fault. The bike is really good, but the bike's purpose is not to spend this amount of time commuting. It's not what this bike's for. This is a bike to have a good time with, and then you're done. You know, you could spend, you know, rip around a supermoto track, or a regular track for that matter, or go out there and spend some time in the twisties. Go spend some time in the twisties and then go home, you know. Oh boy. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get our power check. This is our ride. I feel the wind right there. Feel it. This bike is so light that that's as far as I'm willing to push this. Honestly, that's it for me. That was maybe 100, maybe. But it's so light that the wind is just pushing it everywhere. And I don't want to go any faster. That's fast enough. Get one more in once we get above this hill, see what's coming. We had a truck there, make sure we're clear. And we will use the quick shifter. I don't know if you guys can see the bike moving. See, it's just so shaking. Oh my God. I don't... God, that's some sketchy shit. It really is. I don't know if that's something to do with the suspension, maybe. Oh God, but it is so light that it just starts shaking like that. It's fucking, pardon my language, it's fucking, it's so funny. Like I did what, I think it was 120 on the Ninja down this road, the Ninja 1000. And it was freaking planted. I did 120 on the Indian. This bike gets to 100 and 105 and that's it. That's it. That's all I'm doing. It'll go faster, but not with me on it. It's putting a smile on my face though. I'll give it that. I will give it that. You are a phenomenal motorcycle. shift down works really good. I give it that. Nope. Thank you. Gotta be careful out here. Good bike. I had a really good bike, honestly. That's 100 mile an hour. And look, if a bike will do 100, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, oh God, if anybody's watching this at this point in the video, I have a 2008 Honda CB250. I bought it for myself to be able to teach my kids how to ride, and I was thinking to myself, do I make a video of that? Because I can already tell you that bike does not go any faster than like 62 miles an hour. So if I get enough people that want to see the 2008 Honda CB250, I'll do it. I'll do it. I've never even plated that bike because it was just a learning bike. But I will get the bike plated and I will take it to work. But we got to get some more people to say yes on that. So please, if you want to see it, help us out. Get some more people. Get some more people to subscribe. Tell us you want. Good. Yeah, this bike would be great at some really tight curved roads. It would be really great for that. Oh my Lord. High speed, this bike is sketchy. But doing this, oh yeah, this is really good. Really good. I like this a lot. Now, get to the gist of it. This particular bike, I would really prefer if I wasn't commuting or coming home on a bike like this. It would not be my choice. But I would love to own a bike like this for going out and doing some nice tight curves, some, you know, getting better at riding. I mean, yeah, this is a really solid platform. And honestly a pleasure to ride. It really is. It's a pleasure to ride. Lost ahead. It's a nice thing about the country. Dirt bikes and ATVs and cows. It's just so peaceful when you get into the country. It really is. Sixth gear. Whew. Yeah, this bike at 100 miles an hour, it's perfect. Doesn't need any more than that. Doesn't need any more than that. Not a bit. Not a bit. It's a fun bike. It really is. It's a fun motorcycle. Could you commute on this? Yes. Or could you, do that? Yes. Oh, I can already tell you. Maybe it's my fault for being old, but I feel it. I feel it. Sorry. Ah, what a nice day. What a nice day. So we're gonna say for me personally, no, I wouldn't take this bike to work on a daily basis. Maybe once in a while, but on a daily basis, it's not built for this. It's not built for this job. But it's so much fun if you do what this bike is built for. There you are, ladies and gentlemen. KTM 690 SMCR 2019. I'd recommend it for a purpose, but I can't recommend it on a daily ride home. We'll see you in the next one, everybody. As always, enjoy the ride.